Hey girl, hey. So I'm sitting over here and I'm just like, why revelations, right? Like, why are you in business for yourself? Why do you want to be in business? So my team and I went on a retreat to, I think it's called Chimney Rock in South Carolina. It was amazing, amazing, amazing experience. And y'all know how I am. I always start these videos and never wipe off my phone. So there we go. There's a girl, hey. But so we went to this retreat, and I'm a year into the business, and up until now I've kind of half worked the business. I've been very, very, very part-time, which is wonderful. It's great, because it's something that you can do. You can join Synergence, and it's something that you can do extremely part-time where it's not going to interfere with your life, and hit your minimum, to stay alive, and that's it, and go on about your business. But I have visions of grandeur and so, and dreams of exponential growth and just wonderfulness. So I wanted to grow the business. So I was trying to come up with the money to go to retreat, and it wasn't a lot of money, but all of a sudden, sales seemed like they were frozen. It's just like, okay, when I don't have a need for the money, then I make sales. When I have a need and I'm like, okay, I need to go out here and I need to hustle, I need to make this money, and nothing happens, and I'm just like, what's the problem, right? So a Senate sister of mine was gonna go, and then she paid her ticket and she couldn't go, and it was past the refund time and all that, so she donated her ticket to me. So that was one less stress that I had. So I was like, okay, the place is only 3 hours away. It costs $40 to fill up my tank. So technically I need about $80 to get there, because it's gonna take a tank of gas to get there, or half a tank to get there and a half a tank to get back. So I need like a tank of gas, which is $40, but I would like to have a little extra just in case I need to fill up my tank again for whatever reason. So then I did a video, and I want to just tell you that my Senate sisters are amazing. They're amazing. Did I say they're amazing? They're amazing because they're so helpful, and they, spurred me on, believed in me, and then somebody invested in me to get to seminar. And so I got to go. And when I tell you, it was everything I needed to do my business. It was everything I needed to do my business, because I was sitting there and I got to have some really quiet, in a really very quiet, intimate setting. It was about 10 of us or so, and then Chinaza Dusan was also there. She was our guest, and when I tell you that woman spoke to my soul, oh my God. Okay, first of all, I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I'm here, I'm happy to be here, but I feel like, that like I didn't really earn it. Like I feel like because I didn't do it myself, that I was just like, okay, somebody's packing me along again, and which is part of my why. I don't want to be the broke friend that everybody pays for, and I get to experience things. I want to be a giver. I want to be the head and not the tail. I want to experience what that's like to, give to somebody in that way and not expect anything in return, and, except for you to grow. So she spoke to my soul though when I got there, because I thought my why for the business was to retire my husband. That's what I had always said. Oh, I want to retire my husband. It was like 30 other things, and then I want to retire my husband. And so when Shinaza started teaching us about the difference between recruiting and sponsoring people, which I think kind of explains why so many people have a bad taste or a sour taste in their mouth when it comes to direct sales, because they were never sponsored. They were always recruited. So, a recruiter is all about themselves. They're all about, how is this going to benefit me? You being on my team, how does that benefit me? So if you get on my team, then I get this bonus because you do these 3 things, and then I get the next person to do these 3 things, and then I completely forget about you and don't teach you how to get other people to do the same thing. And if I do teach you, it's only because I want to get another benefit because I taught you to do something. It has zero to do with the recruitee. So I learned that, sponsoring, when you sponsor a person, you teach them everything about the business. You listen to them, you check on them and ask them how they're doing without having a motive underneath your, behind your back. It's, hey girl, how are you? I'm your sinner sister. I want to know about you. I want to know, about your family. Are your kids getting on your nerves today? Do you need a break? Do you want to come out with, if you're local, do you want to come get coffee with me? We can take 30 minutes to go get some coffee so you can just have some adult time and adult conversation. Then you can return home and go back to your, and be a better you, so you're not so stressed. And those kinds of things. Am I checking up on you? Do you have sickle cell or some kind of autoimmune disease? Like, how is your health going? Like, what's going on with you? So you want to help them in every aspect of their lives as far as, being healthy there. What's your spiritual life like? Do you believe in the Lord? Like, how are you praying every day? Like, do you need a prayer partner? Like, what can I do to help you as a person? Let's go jogging together. Like, let's, those kinds of things. You sponsor them. And I was like, oh, because people have this misconception of, well, I don't want to babysit anybody. I ain't getting into this business to babysit people and work their business for them. I used to say those kinds of stupid things, and I never grew my business, And when I realized what a sponsor was and what it was to sponsor somebody into the business and how I'm being sponsored even now, then I was like, man, I had this thing wrong, like completely wrong. So it was really interesting. And then she turned around and she looked at me, and it was like, all of a sudden, I wasn't just naked, y'all. Okay, like, it was like you're standing in the middle of a crowd. It was like your worst nightmare and dream come true all at the same time, right? Like, I was reduced to just the energy that God gave me. It was that raw. Like, it was the breath of the Lord. That was it. That was what I was. And it was like, what is your purpose? And why are you here? Why are you doing this? And I was like, well, I gave my little list about what I wanted to do and, and what my little dreams were. And, she's like, okay, all those things are possible. And I was like, well, but here's the story behind why I want to do this. My husband went to Iraq. My husband has come back with PTSD. I loaned the Army, my husband, to, and his expertise. He's a nurse. And I loaned them my husband, and they broke him. They broke him. And, when I married him because I fell in love with this strong, smart, he's still strong and he's still smart. It's just, I wasn't used to seeing him broken. I wasn't used to seeing him injured, and so when he returned and I saw the injuries, it was just like, oh, like I was taken aback. It's kind of like, when you grow up and you realize that your dad's not Superman, that your dad's just a mere mortal. Like, what do you mean? He's not 100%. So it took me back. Like, it really took me aback. And I was just like, oh my God. And out of nowhere, we were almost moving on to something else. And I told her, I said, I'm an asshole. And then I burst into tears. Okay? Burst into tears. Because I was like, and forgive me for my language, but that's what I said. And they were like, everybody was like, well, why? And I said, because my husband has post-traumatic stress disorder. And he's a nurse. He's still nursing. He's doing the same stuff, the same type of job that he had, which was mending people, helping people mend, and that he was doing when he was in Iraq under fire. He had to mend the Iraqi soldiers. They would come in, and he knew that he was patching them up to send them back out there so that they might be better able to kill an American soldier. But because of the job that he had, his job was to repair them. And it does something to you that, you don't come back from that without being affected. And, you know, and he got to work on soldiers, you know, U.S. soldiers and stuff, and British soldiers and stuff. But those were the really, really hard things, you know. And he told me some details and stuff. And I said, I'm a jerk, because he gets up every morning. He fights to get out of bed every morning. Every morning. Though whether he's mentally ready to get out of bed, whether he's mentally stable enough to do it, whether he feels like it, whether his body is hurting, whether his head hurts because he has migraines now. Like, it's so many things. And he gets up every day. And he struggles. And he goes to work every day without complaint. And he does this for us. And here I am with this business, this opportunity, this thing that could possibly make his life that much easier. It won't make the PTSD go away. It won't make the migraines stop, but it'll dang sure relieve some stress, right? Because if I paid the mortgage, then he doesn't have to work so hard to pay the mortgage, does he? If the business took care of the car payment, then he wouldn't have to worry about the car payment, would he? So it's that kind of stuff. Like, man, you know, I have this business and I ain't done nothing with it. I haven't even opened my mouth to talk to people in real life. Like, I talk to people online all the time. How dare I do this to him? What kind of wife am I? I'm supposed to be his helpmate. So when I realized what my actual why was, it made me cry. It really does. Like, those statements are not just cliche, y'all. Like, it really happens. Your why will make you cry. And then it'll make you do stuff that you're not accustomed to. Like, everybody jumps into direct sales and they're thinking, well, you know, the biggest thing that people tell folks when they're trying to recruit you is, oh, well, you know, there's no sales, there's no recruiting and no quotas and no nothing, no this, no that, no stress. So how do you tell people about your business? How do you grow a team? You know, so some billion trillionaire is out here, and as long as you use the products, then they're going to pay you. How are they making money? You know? So you got to be real careful about these people that come out with all this foolishness, you know. Oh, it's direct sales. You're going to have to talk to people. You are. You're just going to have to talk to people. You're going to have to talk to everybody. And, you know, whether you choose to go the niche market route or however you choose to run your direct sales business, but the fact of the matter is, basics is you're going to have to talk to people, and you're going to have to, you know, explain what your services are and how they're going to benefit them. That's a given in this business. And if you are, you know, if any salesperson worth their salt knows that every sale is about building rapport and relationship. So you're going to have to do that. That's a skill you're going to have to acquire if you don't already have it, right? So it was just like, oh, so that's why, you know, my teammates, they put together, my upline, they put together this scavenger hunt for people to talk to. And not only for people to talk to, it wasn't just for on the surface, oh, I want you to talk to, you know, a police officer, a first responder, a lady with a baby, you know, a man waiting on his spouse, whatever. It wasn't just arbitrary. It's not an arbitrary list. What it was teaching you a lot about yourself. I learned so much about myself. I learned that I prejudge people, which is a no-no number one when you're trying to talk to other people about your direct sales business. You don't judge anybody. Stop being a judge. Judgy much? You know? So I was like, all right, so don't judge anybody. I judged. Oh my God, I judged. I didn't. I would determine by looking at a person whether or not they would even listen to me. And the Bible says that as a man thinketh, so is he. And all the new age teachings, you know, The Secret and all that say, you know, if you think it is, and it is. Perception is reality. So maybe the reason you're getting so many no's is because you already decided that they were going to tell you no. which means that you give a half presentation because you're like, well, they're not going to want it anyway, so why am I going to go all out? You know, which means that they're going to be like, well, I don't even understand what you're saying because you're only giving me a half presentation, so you're not even going, you know, you're not even doing the work at this point. So that's part of the reason, you know. We already decide. So I was like, okay, I'm a judger. Nip that in the bud right quick and in a hurry. And then I was like, you know, I judged myself. Like the root of my problem was judging. I judged myself. Well, nobody's going to want to hear from me. I'm a black girl. You know, we're out here in this rural mountain area. There's not a lot of us out there, you know, here in this area. And you want me to go talk to these people about Synergens. Okay. Yeah, they want you to talk to people about Synergens. What's wrong with you? You know, you're a person, they're people, talk to them, be friendly. The Bible says that if you want to acquire friends, that you must first show yourself to be friendly. So, black, white, blue, purple with pink polka dots, you have got to go out there and be friendly. And, you know, Jim Rohn said that Earl Shoaff told him, his mentor, said that there's only about 5, you know, miserable people in the world. And the issue with them is that they move around a lot. So if you meet a miserable person and they don't receive you well, then just giggle in your mind and determine that, oh, you're one of the 5. You know, don't say that to them though. Just in your head, they're one of the 5. Okay. Met one of the 5 today. No problem. And then you move on. Right? You move on to the next person. And it really helped because Chinaza Dusan was on my team. We split up in teams. And as soon as she got out the car, she spoke to this woman. And this woman was like walking by like, oh, no, I don't want to talk to you. You know, kind of a thing. And basically shut her down before she could even get out what she wanted to say. But Chinaza didn't crumble. She didn't cry. She didn't fall into a shell. She didn't stop talking to people. She was like, okay. She was like, well, you have a great day. And went on to the next person. Didn't take it personally at all. I was just like, oh, okay. It was good to see that in action for me. I needed to see it in action. It was so good to see it in action. So I did that. And we went and we talked to people and it was really great. So what I decided to do on the way home, because I had the copy of the list of the people we were supposed to get and take selfies with on my phone. So what I decided to do was to adapt it to my neighborhood, not just my neighborhood, to my city and to my state. And, you know, eventually cross over lines and go to South Carolina and Alabama and wherever else I could go, right? And meet people and talk to people about my, about Synergens, about what we have to offer. And that's what I've been doing. And I met a salon owner through that. My first time out, met a salon owner. I have another meeting. I've met with them twice already. I have another meeting with them on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. And, you know, to help them set up their spa room that they want and to talk to them more about Synergens and to set up another meeting, a party they want to set up to where I come and I demonstrate all the products that I have available to show them and go through the beauty book and explain it to their customers and their clientele and their business partners and stuff. They want to know. How cool is that? But I drove by that salon every day for almost since May of 2018. And it is now November of 2018. May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 6 months. Drove by that place, never walked in once. Never once. Until I got this incentive to just, you know what? I got to be better. I got to do better. And my why makes me get up in the morning. My why makes me go talk to people. My why makes me get out and say, you know what, doggone it? I'm going to retire my husband. Come hell or high water, I'm going to retire him. And he's going to get every good thing that he deserves because he deserves it. And I'm going to get every good thing, which would be the best parts of him. You know, my husband told me the other day that, you know, he needs help, you know, with the house and the bills and everything. So he's like, I just do. We just bought a house. So, you know, when you first buy a house, things are tight. And he's just like, I can't do anymore. I need help. And that's what I'm doing. I am helping him. Finally, you know, finally. So that was my 20-minute rant about and sharing story time with me, to share with you guys, because it's important that if you're going to be on my team, that you understand that this is not just some get rich quick scheme. This is not some, oh, I just sell little lipstick stuff. This is not I just, do skincare, or I do fingernails or whatever. I want to be a makeup artist one day, maybe. This isn't some flippant thing. This is a career. This is a life-changing, mind-altering, soul-piercing growth plan for people. And it is my honor to share that with you. So if you want to grow, if you want to dig in and, do the work of improving yourself, and therefore also improving your financial situation with your family, liberating, maybe liberating a spouse, or making it a little easier to make the ends meet, making it a lot easier to make the ends meet, or you just want to blow up, finally live up to your potential that everybody's told you had since you were knee-high to a grasshopper. Whatever your why is, I want to know it. I want to know what your why is, and then I want to help you to achieve your goals. That's what I want. Honestly, that's it. That's what I want. I want to see other people get to where I am. I want to see you get here. Passionate about life, passionate about your abilities, passionate about everything. Your life should be your passion. I love that commercial. But cycling is my passion. But yeah, your life should be your passion. That's enough. The life that you want should be your passion. So if anything I've said has resonated with you as I'm rounding to a close, then please feel free. Reach out to me. Say, hey, Starla, I want to jump on that train with you, girl. Let's do this. And I'm with you 100%. Whether you walk, run, crawl, fly, I'm here for you. So message me. And if we'll get you all together and stuff. And it's $55 a year to maintain your business. And I can teach you the rest after that. So message me and I'll talk to you soon. All right. Until next time, be blessed and have a great day, a great week, a great holiday season. All right. Ciao.